Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is for you. It's Miss Bazzle back again with another update. I'm going to try to keep this short because I know I can get a little wordy sometimes. I just wanted to update you on what we're doing this week, what's expected. Report cards are done. Most kids did really well, and then there were some kids who did not. The ones who did not do well are the ones who chose not to do the assignments that they were reminded of numerous times. Those assignments were also listed on the progress report, and still nothing. So we're now starting off the new 9 weeks, and we're working on personal narrative writing and, of course, grammar. So the things that the kids should have completed by now is their brainstorm sheet for the writing project and their plot diagram. That should have been completed, but I gave them a few more days to work on that. So that's in their personal narrative booklet that I printed. There are no other copies. It's probably 20 pages. So there are no other I told them do not lose it. And I'll pull grades from that periodically. The kids also have bell work. I didn't get to check everyone's bell work, which is this pink sheet. Which is where we review simple, compound, complex, and compound complex sentences. And so it's teaching them how to write the different types of sentences so their sentences are not all simple sentences. We need to grow in our sentence writing. So we have been working on it for quite some time, but I think they've really been challenged this week. The last thing they have is their reading log and annotations. I'm going back to annotations because the last test, read the story, answer the questions, was a little challenging for some, for most students. Read the story, answer the questions, but the kids need to learn to think a little more abstractly because you have to make inferences. Although some people say, oh, it's subjective and stuff like that. It can be, but there's only one right answer for each question. So based on the 4 answer choices, what is the best answer? So they really need to consider that. So the last thing, we really don't have the time to go over the tests, and it would literally take 2 to 3 days to really go over the tests thoroughly that they took the first 9 weeks. So what I've done, let's start with annotations. It seems like the kids don't like to annotate, and it is very, very good skill to have because it does work. So I've created a sheet. I don't have one in front of me, and it's just a sheet, a blank sheet, landscape with 6 big boxes that fills up the whole sheet, right? And each box represents a paragraph. And so I demonstrated annotating. I mean, the kids have enough time to annotate and take their time. They get 2 days for summatives. And if they need a 3rd day, I'm going to give it to them. So what are you rushing for? Enjoy the passage. And sometimes informational text is not interesting. So, but in order to grasp the meaning of the text and the questions, you really want to have a strong understanding of the passage. So with my annotating, you're building a relationship with the passage, and that's what I'm trying to get across to the kids. It's important it works. Your test scores show that you didn't annotate, it didn't quite work out for you. So why don't you try it my way and see how that works? So therefore, the sheet with the boxes will now be a way where I can see their annotations. I can pull the annotations for a grade. If they need a little boost on a test, that the annotating will help. I want them to get used to it because it's a tool that they'll use forever. Even when you're having a conversation with someone on the phone as an adult, you may want to write some notes. And this is a way to get in the habit of backing yourself up with notes. And this is how you take notes. So I created a video. It is in Schoology for our slides for this week. They should review the slides this week. They need to go over the different types of sentences and grammar. Because they will have a summative coming up next week where they'll have to create just a half-page story that's going to include, where they have to include simple, compound, complex, and compound complex sentences in their story, along with some other things that we have been learning throughout the school year. So I'm excited about that. I'm also excited about the personal narrative that they're working on. And we're just at the base level of brainstorming and so on and so forth. And I'm hoping to have a publishing party in a couple of weeks. And we would love for you to come to see all the wonderful work that the kids are doing. And I'm going to have their work published in a hardbound cover book where they'll have a 1 page for their story and a page for an illustration, and it'll be in the book. So if you want to get an additional copy of the book, you can, or it will just be a class book. So, you know, some of the kids are super excited about having their work published into a book, and I am beyond excited, and I want you to come by and see the great things that they're learning and that they're creating. And don't be too alarmed if your child was not successful the first quarter. If they have that passion and that drive to succeed, they will. But as soon as I see zeros in the grade book, zeros in TAC, zeros here, there, anywhere, that means you chose not to do that work. Because I go through the attendance, then I tell the kids, hey, you owe me this, you owe me this. I may say it every day for a week. So what you're doing, you're choosing not to do the work. And that's the difference. Can't and won't are two different things. I put more respect on can't, or you're unable, or you don't understand, but you're trying. And you won't. You're just not doing it because you don't want to. I think that's defiant and it's defeating the purpose. I want everybody to pass. So my tutorials, once again, Wednesdays after school. If a kid comes in the morning, I'm here every day around 6:30, 6:45 in the morning. All I have to do is knock on a side door. And I have tutorials Friday mornings. Stop by, ask a question. I want to see you pass. I want to see you grow. I want to see you have a love for reading and writing and that creative expression with words. It may not be your thing, but you need language arts for the rest of your life. You want to be able to read well, have a intense conversation, and all those other things that come with RELA. Because RELA, or language arts, or English, is the foundation for everything you'll do for the rest of your life. So, I'm here to help. And this message is going out to the parents. If you have your kids watching it, fine. But I'm looking to teaming up with you to keep everybody on track. Once again, there are 5 assignments in the grade book that are due by Sunday, and the it was something I said is due Wednesday. Oh, the annotations. So I modeled annotating in a video, which is in Schoology in October 11th slides, and the kids, some of the kids, if the classes, if we had time, they can model the next paragraph and annotate paragraph 2, maybe even paragraph 3, and then the next 3 paragraph, I want to release them to see what they can do on their own. So with that said, if a student is absent, they are still responsible for the work. I update the Google Slides in Schoology every single day. So if you're absent and you're able, check out what we did in RELA. It's up to you to keep up on what we're doing. So that's why I take all the time to create the Google Slides so it's readily available, because you know Corona's still out there, or a family member. So I still want you to have the lessons that we're doing in class. Even if you're out of class, you're still responsible for the work. So with that said, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I adore all of your children. I do. They get a little loud sometimes, but I do adore them. They're just so sweet. And my heart goes out to them. I love them. I want to see them succeed and do well. So any way you can help me help them, that'd be great. And if anyone wants to volunteer and help out in my classes, especially when I do small group, that would be awesome. So just send me an email. Let me know when you could come. They just sent a email out, and they let us know that volunteers are now welcome. I would love to volunteer every day because I want to be able to reach all the kids. Sometimes I wish I could split my body in half. Oh my God, could you imagine 2 of me? Oh my God, it would be awesome. Okay. I love you, and you parents, you are doing a wonderful job with your babies, because I see it when they come in the classroom. You know, you can see it, and they are representing you well. I don't have any disrespectful kids. It's been a good year so far. Do I do everything perfectly? Of course not. But Lord knows I'm trying. So if there's anything that I'm not doing that you want me to do, just shoot me an email. And I'll work on that too. All right, love you. Until next time, later.